Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Took a little day off yesterday, enjoyed my Sunday after yet another Chelsea draw. You guys went mad. In the comments of the 6 things we learned video, everybody had something to say. And in this video today, we're going to be talking about the #1 talking point from that game and the repercussions and what has happened since that moment from the Premier League and the officials with apologies. You won't believe it. Chelsea have managed to not make the Christmas card list, as we normally don't, but we've also not made the apology list as well. We're going to be talking that. We're talking Cucurella and Mudryk. We're talking Jude Bellingham, Andrey Santos and Zakaria. So a focus on the midfield areas today. As well as that, I do want to ask you to subscribe to GBFC because there will be another video out later today. There will be a Dortmund Champions League preview and news tomorrow. And then Wednesday, it's our biggest game of the season. Away in Borussia Dortmund in front of 81,000 fans. It's the first time in, I don't know how long or maybe ever, that Dortmund have been able to have a full stadium of fans for a Champions League night. So, now that we've all got those little bits of interesting starting points out of the way, let's discuss the VAR apology, or should I say, lack of apology for Chelsea Football Club. And I've always said that Jose Mourinho's point about potential agendas against Chelsea has always been something where Chelsea managers, Chelsea players, those people involved at the club have always had to keep very, very stumm, which basically means quiet, about any of these kind of accusations about there being an agenda against Chelsea. Because if you make those kind of accusations, then you've got to be punished for it, because it would imply that there is something fundamentally not fair about the decision-making, rule-making, legislation process in football and in the Premier League. So, what I find absolutely mind-blowing is that an apology was issued to both Brighton and Hove Albion and Arsenal because VAR was considered incorrect, and Howard Webb, who is the chief bloke, I guess you could say, to go ahead and instigate this kind of apology, that he didn't seem to think that it was a handball. So I'm just wondering now, at this point in time, surely there needs to be an independent body who comes in to provide us with our referees. We should get rid of every single one of them, start something completely different, and then find referees who are actually suitable enough to play football, because otherwise there has to be an agenda against Chelsea, and it's not something that can actually be ignored. It's something that cannot actually be denied, because quite frankly, if Arsenal, which they correctly deserved an apology, get an apology. Brighton deserved an apology, they get an apology. It is so clearly a handball from Thomas Souček, and I'm still not over it. I'm still pissed off about it. I can't believe that this decision wasn't given. But then to rub salt into the wounds and to basically peel over our faces, apologies have been issued to everyone but Chelsea. So let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. We've known for a while that there has been a bit of an agenda, but I'm going to absolutely leave it there. It's absolutely disgraceful. It's disgusting. We move into the debate, the drama surrounding Marc Cucurella and Mykhailo Mudryk, who, if you watched my live stream, the watch-along that I did for the game against West Ham in the 1-1 draw, I was bringing up countless times how Marc Cucurella seemingly didn't want to pass to Mudryk, and he seemingly was allergic to passing the ball forward. Since then, there have been a couple of videos that have gone around social media. Some people have gone down the angle of showing all of the times that Cucurella did pass to Mudryk, and others, like this one that you can see a bit of on the screen now, have gone down the pathway of saying Cucurella didn't pass to Mudryk. There are 2 things to address here immediately. Whilst I was watching the game live, my initial reaction, which is quite often what this is here on this channel, my initial reaction was that Cucurella wasn't passing to Mudryk. For whatever reason that was, I wasn't sure. I was just completely bewildered as to why Marc Cucurella refused to pass forward, seemingly, on multiple occasions. There's also, within this video, it looks as though he waves some fingers, but I can't decipher exactly what finger that is. Is it a middle one? Is it a thumb? Is it this index finger? It looks to me like an index finger, if I'm being honest. Then there was also Mikhailo Mudryk liking a post on Instagram where Mark Cucurella, it's basically a post that was discussing how Cucurella didn't pass to him. And Mudryk's account liked it. So there's definitely some wonderful questions that need to be asked of Mikhailo Mudryk about PR right now and what they should and shouldn't do to instigate these kind of deep dives that fans like myself and people with far much more time than I do on my hands, they're going into great details about it. At this moment in time, I don't think it should be anything to look into. I don't see for a second how and why Cucurella and Mudryk, having only worked together for 2 weeks, can have something so dramatic to argue about, to the point where Cucurella, who's getting booed off the pitch by Chelsea fans, surely there is a lot more at stake for Cucurella here to just pass Mudryk the ball. I don't know what's going on. I don't think there's anything going on. To be fair, I know I did say in my watch along and in my 6 Things We Learnt video that it did seem as though he didn't pass to him. I stand by that, but to exacerbate the situation, to blow it out of proportion, I don't really want to do that right now. I don't see the point. There are enough issues at Chelsea Football Club than for us to create narratives about certain players in the squad not liking one another because they don't pass to one another. So, let's focus on the football, shall we? We've got Borussia Dortmund coming up in a couple of days' time. Story number 3 of your video today. Andrey Santos is an absolute world-class potential baller. If you didn't already know, the man is now an under-20s champion in South America. He scored 6 goals in the tournament from midfield. Brazil are champions, and he scored in the final. If you are sleeping on this guy, I advise you to go and watch some highlight videos of the under-20s South American Championships, where Andrey Santos scored 6 goals in 6 different games, including the final. Variety of arriving into the box goals, headers as well. And Chelsea are looking very, very likely to be getting the work permit application for Andrey Santos to be a player for this season. It is looking as though that is going to become approved, which means Chelsea have got a serious baller on their hands, not for the future, but for right now. And I think when we look at the next story, which is discussing Dennis Zakaria, and we're also talking Jude Bellingham here in this video, so stay tuned. I think this Andrey Santos signing at 12 million euros or 12 million pounds could go down when we look back at this January transfer window that we speak about so highly, when we say this could be the potential transfer window that was the catalyst for success in the Todd Boehly era. Obviously, right now on the pitch, it's hard for us to believe that. And in my video later on today, we've got to discuss Graham Potter again in a lot more grave detail. But Andrey Santos, watch this space. Once we get the confirmation that the work permit will be approved, I think this player could absolutely revolutionise everything in the Chelsea midfield. I think it's brilliant how much confidence this kid has at such a young age. He's only 18 years old. And I really think Chelsea have got a gem for the future. I know in these under-20, under-21s championships, quite often a lot of the players that perform well in those competitions, you never really see the same kind of breakthrough at the very highest level. But keep an eye on this guy. Over the course of this week, I'll keep you guys updated on the Andrey Santos work permit decision. Speaking of decisions that Chelsea Football Club need to make, there is currently no decision made over the long-term future of Dennis Zakaria. Now, if we take a look at this here, there is an option to buy clause that Chelsea have that the decision will likely be made in April or May for Dennis Zakaria to stay permanently. Obviously, with Zakaria, it's been an interesting one because you've got the early stages of the season where, for whatever reason, Thomas Tuchel didn't look as though he was interested in Zakaria. Zakaria didn't get minutes. Graham Potter comes in, and I would say one of the more positive aspects of Graham Potter's time so far at Chelsea, despite us only winning 2 Premier League games in our last 13 bloody matches, one of the positives is the opportunity that Graham Potter gave Zakaria, keeping Dennis Zakaria therefore in the team. And then after that, there was the unfortunate event of an injury. Juventus are still waiting for Chelsea to decide, and the player would love to stay at the club. Now, as we progress to talk about Jude Bellingham, and it's also been reported today, which is the overarching theme of this video, Chelsea are willing to spend big in the summer, but on specific targets for specific positions. So what this implies is we're not going to get, because obviously I don't think we need one at this point, we don't need another window of 7 or 8 signings. So if we look at the potential for Chelsea's business, Jude Bellingham is a name that has been reported on many different occasions. There have been numerous rumours that have come out of Germany that Jude Bellingham doesn't want Chelsea. He doesn't like the idea of the Chelsea project. He'd prefer a move to Liverpool. At this moment in time, I don't see how there can be any proof that Jude Bellingham doesn't like the Chelsea project when there's not been any approach or a proposal, if I can get my flipping words out correctly. There's been no proposal from Chelsea Football Club to Jude Bellingham's camp. So if that is the truth of the matter, then I wouldn't rule Chelsea out just yet. Dennis Zakaria still being an option at 30 million. We also talk about the stacked talent of Andrey Santos in this video. If I'm being very honest with you, I don't think Jude Bellingham, for the 120 odd million that we'll probably have to spend on him to sign him from Dortmund, I don't see Chelsea going for this one. Neither do a lot of top journalists at the moment as well. Santos to come back. Zakaria, decision will be made in April. The flipping bike in the car park bloke is back again. April or May, Chelsea will likely make the decision. Zakaria is expected back from injury in the first team soon. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, to overarch this video today, there is big rumours that Chelsea will spend big again in the summer. This really does excite me. I don't see how there can be many people that don't get excited about the potential of Chelsea spending money on top talents. João Felix is the one that we want. We want to lock this guy in long term. At the moment, there's a bit of confusion about reports regarding will it be João Felix and a proper number 9 forward, or will it just be João Felix as Chelsea's number 1 target? Chelsea are looking to spend less than the 124 million that is being reported as the asking price from Atletico Madrid. It is absurd money that they're asking for, but he's made a good start to life at Chelsea despite a red card, which I know it's weird still to say that, but he was good in the game against West Ham, got himself his first goal too. But yeah, let me know the positions where you really think Chelsea, if we're spending big and it's only going to be on a couple of positions, what positions will they be? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure the bell notifications are turned on GBFC so that later on today you guys will see the video where we need to talk about Graham Potter again. Some stuff I need to say and update you guys on regarding my thoughts. So stay tuned for that one. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Come on, you Blues.